G'day everyone, welcome back. Alright, well, this will be the 4th episode in the refit work on the Craft CM 600. Soon to be about a 650. If you saw the last episode, you'll know that I have made the decision to put a pod on it. Not a decision I come to lightly, I'll give you that. You know, there's been a few people that said that, you know, it'll muck up the handling and it won't be a good boat with it and things like that. I'm not a boat builder, but going off other research that I've done, the bigger 4-stroke engine that I'm putting on it, and the fact that I want the deck space, I feel like a pod's the right move for me. May not be the right move for you. Don't do anything that I'm here and take it as gospel. It's definitely not. So that's what we're doing. I have got a bit of a plan, rough plan, kind of guideline-ish of how I'm going to do it. So we'll run you through that. But before we do anything, I would greatly appreciate it if you would head and hit the subscribe button. We've got heaps more episodes to come on this. I'm not stopping. This will be done or continuing until it's done. So obviously stringers, floors, pods, top deck work. Gonna have to make a custom hard top, interior fit out, get the engine running, get the engine on, sea trials. There is heaps of work to come. So yeah, if you want to stay up to date and keep up with the build, subscribe and notifications. All right, self-promotion out of the way. Really quick update on a few things since last episode, and then we're going to stick into it. So this episode we will be going for trying to get the stringers replaced, and the pod won't be finished this episode at all, I guarantee it, but I'm hoping to have it molded and at least laid up this episode. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so really since last episode, the great changes are I filled in this straight void here. So that's all been done, same as that side was, which is what you saw on the video. I've come through it, I've filled in the bulk of all the grooves and everything at the back of the transom here, and that's about it. So we're going to come through and knock all this down really quick with my new favorite pad, just to knock all the highs and everything off, and then that's ready to lay glass on. But we're not doing that until we do stringers. So these big stringers, like I said, are fine, but the bulk of them is actually going to get replaced, and I'll show you why and how in a minute. These ones are pretty much getting completely replaced. I went and brought some inch marine ply, and we're going to replace it. I'm going to use a 2400 sheet of marine ply, and I'm going to cut the height that I need out of it, and we're going to replace it from the transom up 2400, and then we're going to just do a scarf and scarf it in and reglass it in. It sucks because I'm pretty sure in here is only about 2600, so we're going to have 200 up there that's old, but it doesn't matter, it's all going to get glassed and yada yada. It's just what's happening. We're going to be replacing, so we're building the pod obviously out here, total setback including the jack plate of 700. So the motor itself will mount 700 out from the transom. I have been talking to another bloke via Facebook, and thank you very much for all your photos and videos, mate. You know who you are, and I greatly appreciate it. He's got a CM 600. It's an alloy pod that he's got on there, and it's a, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was a 140 Yamaha. So I've been taking some measurements off his pod, and he's been giving me measurements for setbacks and things like that to make sure that I got enough swing. So yeah, that's been fantastic, having someone with the exact same boat, exact same transom, and then physically measuring and knowing what setbacks work and don't work. I was going to try and make it closer, but after some photos and things like that of his setup, it's got to come out further. So anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna, like I said, give these a quick hit, and then we're gonna cut. Oh, actually, what we will do, come for a walk. Well, you can come for a walk anyway, you don't have a choice. So this is my rough layout. I don't know how well you're gonna see it actually. It might be better after I cut it. Rough layout of, well, you can't really see it at all. That's crappy. All right, anyway, I have got a rough design of the side profile for the pod, and it's going to extend through the transom. So there is a line there, wherever it is, about there somewhere. From here to the end of the sheet is going to extend through the transom, and it's going to meet up with and get glassed into the original stringers that are in the boat. So that way the pod itself won't be just glassed to the back of the transom. It's going to be fully integrated with basically replacement stringers, inch marine ply, and then I'm going to build everything off the back of this. So there'll be or what I believe is referred to as the tombstone will be on the back of this. It'll be 3 layers of inch. So we're talking a 75mm thick transom plate or tombstone plate that is also glassed. I've got some double bias and some chop mat. It's going to be heavy. I'm swinging at the moment probably about a 145, or potentially if that motor's not big enough, we could even go 200. I don't want it to break. So yeah, first step, stringers. Actually, no, bugger it. First step, we're going to cut this out, and then I'm going to cut the back of the boat and we'll fit it up and get a bit of a guide with that. Well, not entirely sure if this is going to make sense yet, but they're the parts for the pod. Now, the inboard, obviously they're sitting in there, but this is what's going to happen. I'm going to cut a slot out of the transom. This bit here of this section that I've made will slide in from the back and butt up against the back of the boat. Pod hangs out, and then that is going to form the new stringer, sort of up to there. So I'll cut it on the angle. You can see there's an angle cut on the new bit. I'll cut the angle on the old stringer and it'll all get glassed in. So this will form the basis for the pod, and then I've got to do the bottom, the back, the sides. Center stringer I'm going to remake, and it's going to come through the transom as well. So I'll end up with basically 3 slots in the back of the transom, and I am going to put a piece of inch ply reinforcing it as well. So yeah, mark out and cut holes in the fiberglass again, and we're going to get these to slide in, and then we'll get a much better picture of what we're doing. All right, now we should be starting to get an idea of what's going on. So slot it through the transom like I said, and it's going to go up, and I'm going to cut that black line on that stringer. This will end up coming in. So this is going to get, the new one's going to get laminated, just each side all the way around, probably 2 layers of chop strand just to seal the timber, and then it'll come in, and I'll mix up like this chop mat stuff, just bed the entire thing in, but it'll basically turn the pod into what is, a massive stringer. So it's going to be solid. It'll obviously get tabbed into the back of the boat. So right down this side, inside, outside. The other one to go, we got the back, and then the swim deck will come all the way across. I might have to redo some measurements on the swim deck. It looks a little high. Could be wrong, but it looks a little high. Yeah, that, like I said, that gets notched. Do exactly the same thing on this side. Come through and cut these lines. One of them, pick one, cut it, it'll be fine. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. Don't forget this section in here, all this section is becoming fuel tank, and there is plenty of glass to go up and over everything. It's all going to get well and truly tied in. So yeah, all right, do some more cutting and bring you back. All right, well, bit of time's passed, bit of progress has had. I think I really need to move this shade back. There's going to be a lot of hours spent at the back of this boat, and I keep getting blasted in the afternoons. But anyway, yeah, so that's where we are. All trimmed, pretty neat. We're almost at a point where I can pull these out, router all the edges so they're all nice and rounded, and then laminate these boards. 1 layer, probably 2 layers worth of chop, and a lot of resin just to seal them so they never get water on them. Never an issue. I'm not sure if my swim platform's going to be too high. That's somewhere near where it would be, and yeah, I don't know, not quite that thick. It'll be about that thick, I suppose, when it's all said and done. But yeah, I don't know yet, might be a bit high. And yeah, I have also noticed, which I think I said in the last clip anyway, that I'm pretty sure I need to knock these down by 5 inches, because the measurements I got were for a 25-inch shaft, and my Mercury is a 20-inch shaft, so which will lower the swim platform because I still need a bit of room sort of there. So I don't know. I need to keep looking around and seeing what I can see, but I think I'm going to have to knock them down a bit. Anyway, next step, I am going to figure that out, and then I'm going to cut the sections for the back so I can laminate that at the same time. Then I have to figure out how to do this bloody curvature bit down the bottom. I think I have an idea, but anyway, we'll get there. Once I've got the bit glassed on the bottom and these are laminated and the back's laminated, I can actually put the pot on. Yeah, oh, sorry. No, I can't. I've got to do the keel stringer as well. Don't worry about me. I'm making this up as I go along, if you haven't noticed. So, anyway, good progress. I'm actually really liking the way this is looking. I think it's going to look really good with the platform and everything on it as well. I'm getting a bit excited, to be honest. So this is where we are. It's taken 4 episodes for me to actually lay any fabric down, but that's exactly what we're about to do. So this pod, I think, well, it is going to get built basically in 2 complete sections. There'll be the pod itself, which is this, and it'll have the center stringer and the tombstone on the back. It'll be open on the top for now because the swim deck will form the top, and then there will be the base of it, so the hull extension portion, which I'm about to glass, and it'll get glassed directly to the hull. I'll run a nice big bead. These are going to come out while I glass it, but I'm going to run a nice big fillet through there, and I'm going to lay double bias and chop on the on that base. That's like a melamine coated or like a plastic coated MDF, so I don't believe the glass will stick to it. We'll see. Either way, there's so much fairing that's going to happen back here. If it mucks the surface finish up, I'm not really that worried. I'm not going to gel coat it before I put it down because there's at this point I just want to get some glass down, and I really don't think it's going to make any difference. Anyway, so these are going to slide back out, and we're just going to lay mat. Mixing table ready, sort of everything laid out. And my rolls, I'm going to do 4 layers to start with. Like I mentioned, I'm using laminating resin so I can come back, so I'm going to do a chop, 2 double bias, and then chop, and then I'm going to leave it at that because I really want to make sure that I can do that with my work times and everything like that. So yeah, you'll have to, oh, I can't see any at the moment. You'll have to excuse the helicopters in the background. We have a bushfire that's probably, I don't know, 5 k's away from where we live. The RFS is working their ass off to contain it, so yeah, bloody good job to them boys. If there's anyone in the RFS or, you know, any of the sort of emergency services, thank you very much for what you do. We'd be buggered without you. So, alright, mix up some peanut butter first, put a nice big fillet in there, and then we're just going to lay some glass, see what happens. I think that went rather good, if you minus a few little leaves and things that come off the container as I was going. It is very well wetted out. It went down good, nothing sort of pulled. That radius at the back was beautiful. There's a couple of very light air bubbles under it. It's a slightly different colour because of the Q-cell that I put in there and the chopped fibres. But yeah, now really we just let that kick, or let it dry properly. In the meantime, I'm going to prep them for laminating. Alright, a little bit of a progress update. These have been routed and I just put the second coat of resin on them. Sounded funny because I got my mask on, but second coat of resin. First coat sucked right in. Second coat looks like it's sitting okay. I'll probably just give them another quick coat. I'll let them sit for about 2 or 3 minutes and give them another quick coat of resin right before I lay the mat down, and then wet the mat out and see how it all goes. Well, sort of good and bad. This one I think come out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. This one, I think the resin started to go off, and it just sort of kept lifting as I worked. I mean, and I think a learning from this is don't try and do too much. I think I should have just done one, just focused on getting one right. Oh, pardon me. Then mixed up another batch of resin and started another. So, but anyway, we learn. And also I think if I'm trying to do this, I think 2 layers of chop. One layer just doesn't seem to have the bond, the structural integrity to go working it hard, you know, trying to get it around these corners and things when there's just one layer and it's wetted out. So yeah, anyway, I'll come back and clean it all up. I'll give it a little hit with the buffer, or with the wire, no, with the pad. And same on the other side. It's fine, like I said, there's multiple layers going over this once it's in the boat, and there is shit tins of resin in it, so we're not worried. But yeah, we'll flip it up the other way and I will focus on one at a time, and I think we'll end up with a much better result. But I mean, it's a start. Alright, last job for the day. This is well hard. I really want to see what the transition looks like. I'm being impatient, but ooh, okay, that's off. Is it going to come off easy enough? Hopefully I was right and this stuff actually does break off. That's just, they were just held on there with staples. So is that. Okay. Now, will it break or will it come off? Oh, she's coming. Okay. Oh. Let's see if we can put you down. terrible. That's not terrible at all. Tell you what, there's a little bit of ooze out from there, not perfect, but I'm pretty happy with that. Nice. Bit flimsy on the edges, but in the center, she's solid. That's going to be sick. A little bit of an update. So both of these have now been laminated, both sides and ground, and I'm really happy with them. I think they've come up really, really well. Oh, excuse me, fiberglass dust. Yeah, really happy with them. I think they're going to be well waterproof and more than up to the task. I have gone and put another 5 layers on this, so another 2 double bias and then another 3 600 chop. So yeah, I think what's the layup now? Where chop, bias, bias, chop, chop, bias, chop, bias, chop. Anyway, 9 layers is what we're at. So I think it's time to trim this. So I'm going to come in and trim this and get my holes back. It's well and truly gone off. A little bit flimsy out on the ends, but in the middle, she's good. I mean, we can rock the whole boat with it. So, and it is thick. Like, I don't know, it's probably at least 10 to 12 mil thick, and a little bit more on the edges because I put another 4 layers on each edge of chop just to build it up, and then we can test fit the new stringers and see how we go. Well, I'm not mad about that at all. That's pretty good. They sit really nice on the floor too. I'm actually really happy with the fitment there. Fitment there needs to be filled because I had to radius it to get the glass to wrap around it. But yeah, it's actually touching the floor. That's just a bit of the radius from prepping the timber. So yeah, they sit in there good, no issue with that. I am going to have to continue to put some more layers on here. We've closed the gap up a fair bit, but I reckon up here I could almost live with and put filler in it, but back here is too far. I could lift it up, like I could sort of just bring it up and glass it to it, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this to size on the line, and then I'm just going to lay some strips, just like probably 2-inch wide strips, maybe do 4 layers, maybe a bit more, just to close that gap up a little bit, and then I can come and sink it. This side's probably a little bit higher, but again, we can pull it. Like, it's got flex, but I don't want to go ahead and pull it if I don't have to. If I can make it so that it fits without having to actually put it under tension, then that's what we're going to do. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. So trim, I'm going to mix up and lay some more strips on there. I'm not going to show you because there's only so many times you can watch me lay glass, but this is where it's heading. It's pretty good. While it's in the boat, I'm going to take measurements, and I'm going to measure for the first big plate for the tombstone, which is going to mount to the outside. So there'll be another inch plate on the back of that, and then subsequent 2 layers will be on the inside of that. And I'm going to get some 316 screws. They'll get screwed to this, and then they'll screw in that way into the tombstone block, and obviously that will all get glassed in as well. It'll all be pre-laminated, glassed, ready to rock and roll, and then it'll all go in as one dirty big solid chunk. Alright, well, that's where we're going to leave it for this episode. I'm sort of out of time to film, and I'm a little bit out of energy right now. These days have started to get hot again, so you know, we're sort of mid-30s here now. It's very difficult to put resin down in 30-degree plus temperatures outside, so I'm sort of having to do a little bit in the morning, a little bit at night, or late afternoon. I was out here at 6:30 this morning putting the second laminate on these things. So yeah, anyway, sort of that's where we're going to end it here. I put another 8 layers on each side to try and bring the height up, and it's a fair bit closer. Yeah, it still needs a little bit, but it's a lot closer. So yeah, unfortunately I won't get these bedded in this episode. That was something I was trying to do, but it's just not going to happen. Realistically, I'm at the point now where I can bed them, so that'll involve mixing up more of the just the goo, basically, so the chopped fibers and some Q-cell to sort of beef it up. Load heaps in here, and then all along the bottom of the stringers, all where they meet the hull, so where they meet the old stringers, just plaster it in there and basically slide them in, sink them in, block them. So I'll probably put some off the sides here. I'll get some bits of timber to run across and wedges so I can block them down, and then at the back here, because this new hull piece here is rock solid, I'm going to put some ratchet straps just around the hull and around these to sort of bring it all together. And that's where we are. That won't be too big of a job, but it's too much for me to do right now. So yeah, thanks for following along. I know there's been a lot of comments on the last couple of videos stating that I should be using, you know, Coosa as it is in America. Coosa's not really a product in Australia that I can find. We have a product called Versalite. Versalite? Yeah, Versalite or Thermalite. Either way, same thing. But like I've stated before, I do have a budget. It's decent, but I do have a budget, and it just doesn't factor in those sorts of costs of materials. They're 4 times the price of what I can pay for plywood. And like I said previously, it's laminated, it's resined the crap out of. It'll be resined in, laminated in, gel coated over. It will be fine. I promise. It will be fine. Would it be better to use other materials? Sure. Got to draw a line somewhere. So yeah, that's where we are. It's going to be more than strong enough for everything I intend to put this boat through, and I would wager it's more than strong enough that for anything that anybody would intend to put a boat like this through. So yeah, all right, that's out of the way. Thank you very much for following along. If you haven't already, go subscribe, and I think it's about time we roll the build tally. So we're going to put that up here, let it roll through. It's adding up. It's not ridiculous yet. It's adding up. Like I said, I've got a budget for this boat. We'll see if we blow out or not. You'll know, because it's all right here. So, all right. Well, stay safe. We'll catch you on the next one.